Tasmania has a rich source of convict and colonial heritage for history buffs to explore, especially those interested in genealogy, the study of the history of families. For some, it's a passion. Linda Hunt met one couple for whom it's a way of life.
Every family has them, fading old photographs of half-remembered ancestors. These photos have been preserved by the State Archives, part of the rich resource available to history buffs.
If you were to put the contents of our Tasmanian Archives collection together side by side, they'd stretch for about 21 kilometres.
But what used to take hours to find on microfilm is now accessible at the click of a button. The Tasmanian Archives and Heritage Office is putting its entire collection online. That task has recently been made a little easier with the help of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It runs Family Search, a genealogy organisation which helps people trace their family history.
Family Search has been developed by the church because we are a family-orientated church, and we believe that the family is the basis of all society, and that the family unit is what links people together.
Family Search provides free access to records online and at family history centres in 70 countries, but the service relies on volunteers.
We retired last year and we moved down here. Len's from Tasmania, I'm from New South Wales, and we retired in September. And we came down here to do extensions on our house and enjoy our retirement, and a month later we were asked to do this.
For 6 hours, 3 days a week, the couple diligently captures an image of each historic record. The State Archives has set aside a room for the Watsons to work in.
They're bringing in camera technology for the digitisation process of capturing the image of the record, which also involves the use of appropriate lighting. There's the computers and the software.
Okay, turn.
Family Search sent an expert from Hong Kong to train the couple in the latest techniques.
Okay. You've got to be careful every time you turn a page or move a book, and make sure your hands are clean at all times, so that or gloved at all times, so that we don't damage the records any further.
The pair are painstakingly making their way through hundreds of volumes. Each week, the digitised records are sent to Family Search headquarters in Salt Lake City, Utah.
You've got about 168,000 records. They're not only are going to be digitised but indexed, and when I say indexed it means that they're referencing every mention of every name and looking at dates, so that we could come in ourselves, put in a name, and we're going to get references to the volume and the page and even maybe the paragraph within that page.
Once we've digitised them and they've got them on records, those books won't need to be handled anymore, and so they're going to be preserved in the library for forever, but still the information is going to be accessible to the general public.
A plethora of information about our ancestors is now online.
We're digging even deeper. We're finding out about their employment or their military service, if they went to the courts, all sorts of things that really, in the past, you would have probably had to have got a research agent to potentially undertake on your behalf if you didn't live locally.
These are court records from Brighton. This particular set from the 1840s. That's her plea, not guilty, and she must have been found guilty because it has a sentence in this column and it says 6 months hard labour in factory.
It's quite extraordinary to have this level of detail, isn't it?
Yes, they'd be very useful for people doing family history work because they not only have some insight into their lives, but it also gives an indication of when they came and what their sentence was and what ship they were on.
The Watsons have had considerable success tracing their own family histories.
This is my family tree going back. This is on my father's side. It's my father there, and it comes back a number of generations into England, but I have one line that goes back into Germany that we've been able to trace back to the 1600s.
Len Watson only recently discovered just how unique his connection to the state is. His ancestors came out on the first boat in 1804.
We walked past the monument one day and we noticed that there was a Thomas Riley on the monument. So we did more research and found out that he was actually my my fourth great-grandfather on my father's mother's side.
It's been a labour of love for the couple. There have been mouldy, burnt and fly-ridden records to contend with, but there's also been some entertaining entries.
And there was one I came across a few weeks ago where the convict was charged with being totally useless.